All right, so in this video, I'm going to go over the 3 steps to be more profitable in 2022. So before we go any further, this is going to seem too easy. Like, honestly, it just is. Now, this quote, simple sells, fancy fails. This is a quote from Alex Hormozy. If you are not following him on Instagram or YouTube, I would highly suggest it. Highly. Okay. So he doesn't really come from the contractor area, but he does. He's built a lot of fame from gyms and whatnot, but a lot of the stuff you just have to listen to. Anyway, so the steps. Step number 1 is you want to find the most profitable jobs. These are the jobs that are going to generate the most profit per day, but then are also easy to manage, easy to price, and don't require you to babysit. Because remember, at the end of the day, there's 2 main things you need to think about in your business. That is how much money you're making and how much time you're spending to make that money. Because it doesn't do anyone good if you were working 80 to 100 hours or 80 to 100 hours a week, to make 100 grand a year. Your family probably wants to see you. Like, you probably want to see your kids grow up or be involved or anything like that. So again, don't always concern yourself just on the money aspect. We also have to focus on the time aspect as well. And I'm going to show you how that works. The other thing to think about for this is if you determine that your most profitable jobs are the simple ones that really aren't exciting to do and they seem like beneath you, I go through that every day. I see, as a fence company, we do just basic fences. We don't do custom. We don't do any of this crazy stuff. And I'll see other contractors that are putting in these amazing backyards where they're putting in pools and patios and decks and gazebos and water features and all this kind of stuff. But I have to realize that that's not my business. I'm not set up properly for that. I have no business being in it. And if I did try to, what's going to end up happening is my profitability is going to take a huge hit because it's going to take me a while to figure out what the hell to do. And not only that, but I'm going to work a ton more hours just to do these higher, interesting type of jobs. So, try not to compare yourself with other people and what they do. It's only about you. Like, you're comparing yourself how you're doing this year compared to how you're doing last year. And that's what we're going to fix. Okay. Now here's a program. It's called the Profit Planner. And what we did is we broke down the 3 different types of jobs, because typically every company, you don't just offer one type of service or one type of job. As a fence company, we do aluminum, we do cedar, we do chain link. Okay, just as an example. There's other ones as well, but this is it. I could put in vinyl or whatever. For you, same thing. If you might do kitchen remodels, bath remodels, and decks, stuff like that. What you're going to do, and this program does it automatically for you, but you're going to figure out which ones can bring in the most profit per day. Because if you could make from certain jobs $500 a day and other jobs you're making $3,000 a day, well, or just say $2,500 a day. Well, one job, one type of job you're working 1 day a week, and the other type of job you have to work 5 days a week, to make the same profit. So that's where we look at that. Okay. So in this example, we have aluminum, cedar, and chain link installation. Now we have the price, materials, labor, total profit, and profit percent. A lot of people focus only on profit percent, but as you can see here, this is at 44%, this is at 47%. So technically the cedar seems on paper more profitable, right? But for the daily profit side, I can make a hell of a lot more money doing aluminum, 3,500 compared to 2,000. And look at the personal hours, because this program tracks it as well, where, I only have to work 6 hours, and this is just a made up account. So I don't even work 6. You might only work 6 hours for this, but for the other one, it's 19 hours. Okay. And then it breaks down your true hourly rate as well. So you can see you're making over 2 times the amount just by offering this type of job. So now we know that aluminum installation is our number 1 job. For you, again, if you're doing bathroom remodel, kitchen remodels, and decks, you're going to figure out which one's most profitable. Okay. Step number 2 is to find out where these customers are that want that type of service. In my case, I'm looking for aluminum fence customers. Okay. For your case, again, it might be bathrooms, decks, kitchens, whatever. So the ways they're finding you is through your website, Google My Business, GMB. If you haven't watched the other videos, this is our number 1 driver of leads that we have. Each year we get 3,000 to 4,000 phone calls a year just from this alone, and it's really not that expensive to operate. You also have Facebook pages and groups. So this is where you're going in the Facebook groups, and if people are looking for your type of service and they have a question, well, you just basically answer it as helpful as you can. You don't want to spam them or anything like that. When you answer it as, just offering help, not saying, hey, by the way, this is this, and this, and oh, by the way, you should buy from us. If you just say, hey, this is what you should do, or this is what you should look out for or be concerned with or whatever, what happens is you become a trusted advisor. So then when they're ready to buy, they're more likely to buy from you. Not only that, they're more likely to want to, not only buy from you, but they want to pay more for you as well because they trust you more. Not only that, but the other people that see the response, they're going to look at you as well. And typically what's going to happen is they're going to click on your profile. So if you're answering as your personal profile, they're going to click on your profile and then they're going to see where you work. So you want to make sure that you have that you're the owner of XYZ company or whatever it may be. So then they can basically find you that way. The other thing is Google Ads. So again, if we go back to this example, right? If I'm advertising for all different types of fences, but I know aluminum is my number one choice, well, then I need to spend a lot more money on aluminum because that's the type of job that I want to book. I don't want to book as many cedar or chain link, especially chain link. I can make 3 times the amount with aluminum than I can with chain link. So that's where we need to focus on that. Okay. The other thing is Instagram. The other thing I forgot to put in here is Pinterest. So if you do more custom high-end work, Pinterest is a number one thing that you probably want to start looking into, at least posting your projects, everything else. It helps with SEO, which, basically gets people to find you for free. But the other thing is people on Pinterest, they have a higher income than most of the other, social media sites out there. So, again, if you're doing high end, Pinterest is a great place to be. Okay. This is looking at the advertising. So we're going to pretend we're doing Google Ads. A lot of people don't want to spend money. Okay. But this is going to show you why it makes a lot of sense. Okay. In this example, again, this is using the Profit Planner program. You can find the link in the description if you want to check it out. It's like $27 a month. But here we have the cost per lead. So if you already do Google Ads, you probably have an idea how much it costs you per lead. If you don't, and you have you're hiring an outside company to do it for you, well then fire them because you should know this information. So anyway, the cost per lead is $35, and basically we need 10 leads per job. So, and this is just made up numbers, but basically you have 10 leads coming in, you book one of those jobs. So it's only 10%. Your rate might be higher. You might close at 20 or 30%. So it might be even better. Now, the value per job, again, this figures out what your gross profit per job is. And then your ad cost is $350. So basically, it's costing you $350 to acquire that customer. A lot of people say, I would never pay $350 for a customer. But again, when you're advertising, these are jobs you weren't going to get anyway. So this is kind of like free money because at the end of the day, you're putting in $350 and you're getting back $3,200. So that project, instead, you're making $2,850 because again, we're taking the 32 minus the $350. So it was an extra $2,800 that you didn't have before because you invested $350. It's a very good return on investment. People look at stocks and everything else where, on the average, for stocks, you're making 10% per year, right? Well, in this case, you put in $350 and you made a profit of $2,850. You're making 8 times. This is 800% on your investment. And this investment is happening on a very, very regular basis. So it's exciting. So then we come down here. So once you figure out these numbers, and again, the program just does it for you. But then if we are only going to spend $1,000 per month on advertising, what that means is you're going to generate an additional $8,100 in profit, in your pocket because you spent $1,000 or for the year, $98,000 a year. So this is super helpful. Number 3 is to start eliminating all the other types of jobs. So again, going back to this, let's go back. If we're doing all these types of services and in this example, actually, we'll go forward so you can see a better example. So here's an example. So based on this test account, it's showing that, and I only put one job of each in here. So that's why for aluminum, cedar, and chain link, they're basically 33% of the jobs, right? Well, what you can do with this program is you can start adjusting things to see what's going to happen before you make those changes. So pretend we start advertising for aluminum more and we start booking more aluminum jobs. So now instead of doing 33%, now we're doing 50% of our jobs are from aluminum installs. And then the other two we knock down to 25. So it's really not that big of a difference, right? Well, what happens down here, and I'll show you what's going to happen, is this, it knows at this point that you need to book 3.23 jobs per week. So just say 3.25. But because you started booking more aluminum jobs, well, now you only need to book 3.15, which isn't that much of a difference, right? Well, the difference per year is you're booking 4 less jobs. So we're doing less work, but we're making just as much money, okay? Now, here's the other great part. In this example, I'm working in a total of 42 hours a week. Well, because I'm booking more aluminum jobs, we're going down to 35.5. So now I'm saving myself 6.5 hours per week or 338 hours per year because we're starting to book those higher profiting type jobs. So again, this seems way too easy, but at the end of the day, if you go through the steps, step number 1 is you're booking the most profitable jobs or to find the most profitable jobs. So you got to sit down and figure this out. You can do pen and paper, or again, you can use the Profit Planner program. It's super simple to use and it's cheap. The next step is you're trying to find out where the customers are. So basically you can start promoting the most profitable type jobs that you offer. Okay. Number 3 is you start eliminating everything. And again, the way that looks is you figure out everything. So, again, the aluminum is your most profitable by day, and also it takes the less amount of your time. So you're making most money per hour. Then you go in here and then you start figuring out what your advertising looks like. Okay. And number 3 is once you start eliminating or you start cutting everything out. So again, we didn't even eliminate everything. We're still doing all types of installations. So if you're afraid of cutting out something completely, you just start narrowing out what you do. So again, we went from 33% for all jobs to 50, 25, and 25. And because of that, now we have to book less jobs per year. And then we're working like hundreds of hours less because we did this. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, hit the like button and subscribe if you like more videos like this. And again, if you're looking for the Profit Planner, there's a link in the description for the access to that. And then there's also a link for the video so you can see what that's all about. Have a great day. Talk to you.